Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Big Dog Country Radio. And Bob, it's the weekend tomorrow. Big game.
Oh, it's an annual clash down there in Georgia, Florida. So should be an interesting ball game. Florida and their starting quarterback got hurt a couple weeks ago, so they got one of those running quarterbacks like Jalen Milrose that gave Georgia fits in the Alabama game, plus Georgia secondary. It's going to be interesting in that first half because two of our better players were sitting out due to being charged with targeting calls in the last ball game. So it'll be interesting to see how Florida's got nothing to lose. Billy Napier is trying to save his job down there. So, I mean, everybody knows this game. You can throw the records out. Records mean nothing. It's just who shows up and who plays, and it'll be an interesting ball game.
Yep, it always is. We have seen through the years that it doesn't matter what records they come in with. The game is just a war down there, and you'll have half the stadium in red and black, half in blue and orange, and there will be no love lost between the teams or the fans, and so it'll be just a regular, normal, good old American football game that has been a tradition for heaven knows how many years.
Weather forecast looks good. So, Bob Smith was in here Monday talking about this is his 70th game that he's going to see. So he'll be down there and tailgate with him. So it should be a lot of fun. Got a lot of good comments on that show. A lot of people enjoyed hearing his reminiscing about 70 years watching Georgia Florida ball games.
Yeah,
Sad
70 years.
Sad that game. Like I said, they're doing some renovations to the stadium down in Jacksonville. So the 2026 and 2027 game are going to be moved to different stadiums. Mercedes-Benz Stadium gets it in the year 2026, and then they're going to move it to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida in the year 2027, which is unusual. I'm surprised that they're moving it to
They're moving it to neutral sites. The last time when the stadium went under renovation, when the Jaguars started in 95 and 93, 94, it was in Athens and Gainesville.
Right.
I'm glad they're moving it to somewhat neutral sites, even though one's closer to one school than the other. But it still make it a very special event, being at Mercedes-Benz and then being down there in Tampa, the professional football stadium in Tampa for those 2 years. As the Jaguar Stadium, I have a hard time keeping up with the name of it because they keep changing it all the time to a different bank. Is it back to Everbank?
It's right now. It's Everbank.
It's back to Everbank. Okay, that's easier to say than the other one they had before, so it's back to Everbank.
I don't know what the new stadium's going to be called. Like I said, that looks like something from outer space. I mean that thing from the drawing.
I know. I've seen those drawings, man. It's like a spaceship's come down from somewhere.
That thing's going to be gorgeous. So that's why everybody's feels that there's going to be a change in coaching in Jacksonville because owner Mr. Kahn needs to fill out those luxury seats in stadium, and you can't do it when your team's 1 whatever or 2 whatever. I mean, they're just having a terrible season. Lost again last Sunday, so there's going to be some changes in Jacksonville. Try to create some excitement and sell those luxury suites, which are very expensive. So, but the stadium looks awfully nice. But they're trying to do that to bring back another Super Bowl to Jacksonville.
Oh, another Super Bowl will come back. You build a stadium. The NFL says we'll bring you a Super Bowl. You build a stadium, and so one will come back in the next 5 years or so. After 26, 27 season, within 5 years after that. So in the 2030s, Bob.
Right. And Atlanta just got another Super Bowl coming there in a couple of years. So
yeah, that is great, isn't it?
That. Yeah.
You been to Atlanta to a Super Bowl? I don't remember. I don't think you ever did.
Yeah, I went to Atlanta. I didn't go to the game. I went up there. I went to the media day and all the parties and all that stuff, but I didn't stay for the game.
You didn't stay for the game. Okay. But you've seen one Super Bowl, or actually, probably about 7 or 8 of them you went to.
Yeah,
I mean, it just becomes old hat after a while. I mean, how many top retired athletes, movie stars, and models can you hang around with for a week, huh?
I think I've been to 8. Greg was talking. This would be our 25th anniversary of the first one we went to. So he wants to go to New Orleans. So we're talking about possibly doing that. So,
okay.
But I said it's expensive still. Even if you get tickets, you still got to do all the other stuff. So
you got the travel, the food, the hotel room, all that kind of stuff.
It's fun. It was some great memories, but. always fun. Every time I think of a Super Bowl, I think about Lynn Haas's favorite quote. It's the same circus, just a different set of clowns. So that's about the truth. That's a classic line.
And see, he said that way before it became the spectacle it is today, you know? Yeah. And that's just amazing.
That's just a great line. He should have wrote a book like that. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good title for a book.
That is a pretty good book right there.
Same circus, just a different set of clowns.
I was watching the Washington Commanders game this past Sunday, and I was trying to look around the stadium and see his name up around there. They didn't really do the wall around there, so it was difficult to see. But
his name's up there in the Ring of Honor.
It's up there in the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Well, you play 14 years for a team. You start practically the entire time. Your name deserves to be up there.
Still should be in the Hall of Fame. I said he's got that record, 156 straight games at center, which is just amazing. Getting records still.
I know, because that's a lot of beating you take down there. Yeah. I mean, you got to hike the ball, get it in there, and then block all that in the single thought. You know,
and he lined up against guys like Deacon Jones and Ray Nitschke and Dick Butkus
I
and
know.
Tommy Novus.
Some animals.
He still one of his favorite stories when he got up to the line and Billy Kimber forgot the snap count. He kept saying, "Lynn, where's the staff?" So he had to tell the guy next to him. He's like, "You got to be kidding me, Billy." He says, saying, "Lenny, what's the snap count?" And he was like, "I don't want to tell him the snap count. I'm going to get killed on this play." He finally, after about the third time, he finally turned around and told Lenny what the snap count was. And when the snap count came, he got killed.
Because the guy knew what it was. They should have had a code type thing that'd be one more, one less. If they forgot or something like that.
He could tell some great stories.
Oh, there were some stories he could tell. Absolutely great. The greatest athlete that's most people ever think that ever came out of Wayne County, Lynn Haas. Did he ever tell you why, when he got to Georgia, that was it Butch?
Wally Butch
changed him to center, from running back, and all the other. In Wayne County High School, Jesup High School at that time, he was running back and defensive linebacker or something like that.
I just think he needed a center, and Lynn had the ability to do it. So I still like the funny. Nowadays the draft is such a big ordeal. He didn't even know he got drafted. He was walking along campus. I said, "Hey, congratulations!"
He didn't even know, huh?
No, he didn't even know. He had no clue. He had no clue.
And see, way back then, the professional football players didn't make the money they do today.
They
it was just a regular
jobs,
salary.
Right?
They had regular jobs after the season.
They had to come back and get a job to finance. They didn't make the millions that they make now.
No.
So. But he could tell some great stories. And I said, I remember when I first got to Jesup, and I said those touchdown clubs, and Jim Bowie was the sheriff, and he'd always call him, "There's the legend back there, Mr. Lynn Haas. How's the legend?" I used to love that. Jim Bowie. I miss old Jim Bowie. I tell you, those were some great times. He did the same thing at the JC, the sheriff's report.
Oh yeah. I was around that back in the late 70s.
Like I said, he's like Red. He could have been. I told him he missed his column. He should have been a comedian because he was hysterical.
Yeah. He was always a force at our state JC meetings, and that we were on Jekyll at the time.
Yeah, that's another legend, Jim Bowie. Those are some great times, great memories.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some fun times when I said that touchdown club. I said that's when I learned all that Southern cooking. Those guys could cook.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "What's that?" And they said, "You'll like it. Just eat it."
Well, you about the JC meetings?
Right.
The hut? Yeah.
No, I was born and raised, just wasn't used to all those collard greens and lima beans and rice and all that good stuff. I was like, "What's that?" They said, "Just eat it. You'll like it."
You'll like it. Well, the kitchen was full of cooks, and then you went to the meeting there in the hall there, and it was pretty well packed. And JCs were a force back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, into the 80s.
When I first got here, the touchdown club meetings were at the VFW, so they had you'd go there, and the place was packed. So They said before that they did the Jones's Kitchen. So the touchdown club's got a history of where they met years ago. So
when I was back here in the late 70s, it was at the VFW.
Yeah, and that's
where the touchdown meetings were.
When I got here in the early 80s, that's where it was. But that was just anybody that was any businessman. The touchdown club was the place to be on Monday night.
That's right.
Had 150, 200 people in there. Like I said, but Bowie would get up there and do his thing, and they would invite the opposing coach, and that was always the funny story. John Donaldson. One year, Bradwell Institute had a great team with Coach Johnson over there. And they invited Coach Johnson to speak, and they got up there and they said, "Well, Coach, tell us what we can expect Friday night." He said, "Well, hate to tell you guys, but y'all probably be leaving it about the third quarter because we got one of the best teams we ever had. We got Raymond Gross and this guy Stewart in the backfield, and he said the game probably be about 45-0.
Oh,
and y'all be leaving. And John Dawson's over there was like, "What?
What?
So sure enough, we went to Bradwell, and it was worse than that.
It was worse than oh,
So
geez.
guess what? The opposing coach never showed up again at their touchdown club.
I remember when they used
That
to
was
invite
into that.
the Brunswick High School coach over. He was a card and a good character and stuff like that. But the problem is, the years you brought him over to speak at the touchdown club, they won. You know.
Well, they enjoyed it, like I said, but it was always entertaining. But like I said, when Coach Johnson told us how bad he was going to beat us, and he beat us worse than he did, that was the end of any coaches coming to speak.
No more. Usually, you don't have coaches
They
that
did
confident. They like to play it down.
Yeah,
So.
not
Not this one, huh?
And Raymond Gross went off to play with Georgia Southern, the quarterback. They had a great career at Southern, so yeah, they had a good football team that year.
I mean, it could be like Dooley. The Dogs could have played the Sisters of the Poor, and you'd still tell them, well, you know, they got some talent over there.
Those were some good times back in the days. Like I said, good memories of the touchdown club meetings.
All right. Congratulations to the girls' varsity softball team in state playoff action.
Yep, 6 teams left. Like I said, they started with 8. They're down to 6. They'll get it down to 3 today. They got to win twice today. They win it. They play at 1 o'clock against Eastside, and if they win that, they can play again tonight at 7. So again, we'll update that for you on our pregame show at the stadium at 7 o'clock. As soon as we come on the air, we'll let you know how they do at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we wish them the best of luck. But like I said, some good competition up there.
Yep. So congratulations to the girls beating St. Pius and be playing at 1 o'clock today. And we'll keep you updated on what's happening there in Columbus with our Lady Jackets. You know, all kinds of activities and happens here in Wayne County in October. But now that even October's over with, there's still stuff going on. You've got Popple Farms, the Farmtastic Fun Days going on this afternoon, all day tomorrow until tomorrow evening, and then Sunday afternoon. So Popple Farms activities are still going on. And then next weekend, you've got the Willie and Todd Memorial Rodeo that was canceled because of the hurricane. It's coming back, and it'll be here on next Friday and Saturday evenings at the TNT Arena in Scriven. So next weekend on the 8th and 9th, you've got that going on. And on the 8th and 9th, you've got the Wayne County Young Farmers Truck and Tractor Pull out there at the JC Fairgrounds. That'll also be next weekend. So you still got Popple Farms this weekend and 2 big activities going on the following weekend.
And a reminder, like I said, it was Halloween last night. A lot of candy handed out, but if you want more candy, they got the big event today before the football game called High School Trunk or Treat at JC Stadium 5 to 7. Again, school groups, churches, businesses will be on hand to give out candy. And again, if you're in costume and you want to go to the football game, you can get in free with the paying adults. So that's tonight at the JC Stadium. And also tomorrow at JC Stadium, the high school band hosting that big Deep South marching competition with bands from Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina on hand. That gets underway at 12:45. Gates open. Tickets are $10, and children under 5 admitted free. But this is a fundraising event for the Wayne County High School Band Program. So again, the band will perform late tomorrow evening at JC Stadium. But again, if you want to see some good bands, and again, understand it's a well-attended event on Saturday at JC Stadium. That's taking place tomorrow. Again, gates open at 12:45, but bands perform all day long at JC Stadium.
Okay, all day tomorrow. And in action that's going to be close by, when I say close by team, that's Georgia Southern Eagles. We carry the Georgia Southern Eagles here on WIFO FM in Jesup. And they're going to try to bounce back after last week's big loss. I mean, they had 2 great games against Marshall and James Madison, and just laid an egg last week against Old Dominion. And so the Georgia Southern Eagles will be going over to Alabama to take on South Alabama. And the Georgia Southern Tailgate Show begins at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon right here on 105.5 FM with kickoff at 7:30. So listen to Georgia Southern Eagle football beginning tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 right here on 105.5 FM. And the Atlanta Falcons host Dallas on Sunday.
Yeah, well, Mr. Jerry Jones will be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Watch his Cowboys lose again.
Thinking, why did I pay that quarterback so much money? They hadn't done squat since he gave him that check.
Thing. Why did he sign Derrick Henry? I
know you had Derrick Henry, just a beast of a football player. a running back that's just amazing. And if you had the chance, if I was a team out there, I'd have been chomping at the bit to sign him.
I was listening to AM 1370 this week. They were talking about the Cowboys, and they had a guy on there saying, they said, "What's wrong with the Cowboys?" And he says, "Well, besides Dak Prescott throwing the ball to C.D. Lamb, what do they do well? Nothing."
Nothing. Huh?
So they don't run the ball. They don't pass defense. They can't stop the run. They don't do anything good except. So
what's wrong with the Cowboys? Jerry Jones is the problem. That's what it is.
It's his toy. He gets to play with it. So.
He gets but he's not. He's made a ton of money at it. There's no doubt about it. If it was just all about making money, and yeah, a ton of money. Yeah, that's good. He's made a ton of money. He's done marketing real well with the Dallas Cowboys. But in terms of putting together after a winning team, after the Jimmy Johnson areas, and then Barry Switzer the year or two after that, that's been it. I mean, they hadn't done squat. It's amazing how popular and big they are when they haven't done squat in over 25 years. I mean, it's just amazing. How long can you live on a reputation from the 70s into the mid-90s, you know?
They say he likes it that way. He just likes them being in the news. As long as they're talking about him, it's all good.
Winning. It's all about winning. Someone just texted in and says, "Did I hear yesterday that Leanne," our office manager here at Big Dog Country, "did I hear yesterday that Leanne is going to have a yard sale at the radio station tomorrow?" Yes, she is. She's got tons of items, with many items brand new, never taken out of their original packaging, all kinds of items. It's going to be a very unique yard sale, and it'll be here tomorrow at the radio station starting at 8 a.m. She was showing me some of those items she's got, and just tons of them have never been taken out of the original packaging. You got everything from jewelry to clothes to you name it, it's there. And so, folks, be here tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for the Lee Ann Lawhorn yard sale here on the grounds of WIFO FM and WLOP. 2420 Waycross Highway here in Jesup. Well, did you do anything for Halloween, Bob?
No.
Not a thing, huh?
No, I'm not in.
No, I didn't know if there was a get-together that you might have gone to, whatever the case. I went over to my Matt and Mandy's house, my son and daughter-in-law. Got 5 grandyoungins. They all the 5 kids there. And so I got the chance to see and visit with them some. I took my youngest son, Chad. He hung around, and we went over there and visited with the boys.
I want to congratulate Mr. Rex Odom. They had the Halloween costume party at the country club last Friday. We had a football game at New Hampstead. Didn't get to it, but I saw the picture. He dressed up like Colonel Sanders, and he won first place. And
who did?
Rex Odom. So if you get to see that picture,
I'd love to see that.
He looks, and he had a real bucket of
fried chicken.
Yeah, from Colonel. I mean, it's a. You haven't seen that picture? Check it out. But congratulations to him. They had the. Always have the chili cook-off, and Mr. C.J. Worsler won first place in that, so congratulations to him. That was a big event last Friday, so I hate I missed it, but I saw the picture of Rex, and congratulations. His wife was dressed up as Wendy from Wendy's restaurant, but he was dressed up like Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders, and pulled it off perfectly, huh?
Yeah, it's a spitting image. If you didn't know better, you would think it was actually him. Didn't look like nothing like Rex. I mean, he did a great job.
That's fantastic. Way to go, Rex. All right, Bob, anything else?
No, just go Dogs.
Go Dogs. All right, have a great weekend. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by the Service Department at G&S Auto Sales, also brought to you by First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and by O.C. Welch Ford.